السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا مرحبا بكم. Welcome to this session. Inshallah, we are going to have people coming on, inshallah, and reading. So everyone's going to get about 5 to 10 minutes, inshallah. So those who are going to read, inshallah. So those of you guys who have sent emails in, make sure you're on. So I'll call you according to your order. So the order in which you guys have sent emails in, basically, that's the order I'll be calling you in. So just make sure you're on. Otherwise, if you're not on and your turn comes, then you're gonna miss your opportunity. So just make sure you're on, inshallah, and I'll be calling you, and you're gonna get a chance to read for 5 to 10 minutes, inshallah ta'ala. So basically what I'm going to be doing here, and I did this before if you remember, I'm just going to be using any text, random text I'll have, and you can just read it if you want. Just read it with the vowels, or you can it's up to you. I mean, if you want to translate it as well, have a go at translating it, then that's fine as well, inshallah. Now last time I used to use Skype to do it, and Skype was a bit hectic. But this time I'm going to be using Restream. So all you have to do is the link that I've sent to you guys on the email. That's basically all you have to. I'm just trying to get everything sorted out. Now, hopefully this should work. All right, so okay, 1 second. All right, so the text I'm going to be choosing, ya Allah. Okay, it's going to be okay, we're going to choose. I remember this is open to both brothers and sisters who wanna read. Yeah, totally, it's totally fine. And if someone maybe he just wants to read Quran, correct their Quran or something. I'm not an expert in tajweed, so I don't think I'm an expert in anything. But if anyone wants to, have their sort of recitation checked as well, hopefully, inshallah, we should be able to help there as well. I'm just trying to get the right text. Okay, so that's one text. All right, so let's start off then. So first of all, we've got Muhammad Aqil. Inshallah, we're going to bring him on, and inshallah he will be doing a reading of text for about 5 to 10 minutes, inshallah. And then if there's anyone else, okay, let's. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brother Muhammad. Right. So what kind of text do you want to read and translate, or just read? Yeah, can you hear? Brother Muhammad, can you hear? Hello? I think it's frozen there. Okay, yeah, so as I was saying, guys, if you guys want to, then you send an email to this address. Yeah, you send an email to this address, and then I'll give you option to come on, inshallah, and you can read any text you want. Maybe there's something that you want to read, you want to improve in the reading of it, recitation of it, or reading translation of it even. Then you can have a go at that. So at the moment, the text that I've chosen isn't really quite readable. I'm just trying to see if there's a better version of this book. Let's see if there's a better version. Actually, I'm trying to find a book that has no i'rabs on it. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Ahlan wa sahlan. Marhaban to all of you guys who are out there. Ya Allah. Okay. Alright, okay. I got a good text here. It's a bit random, but I think randomness is good. So you guys can test yourself. And the key is, guys, when you're reading a text, so the text I'm going to be choosing, I mean, like I said, if you guys want a text that you want to read, you have to send that to me. Right? So the text, for example, like that I'm going to give you guys is going to be, if I can see it. Okay, all right. So this is the text basically. Yeah, so this is the text. So text is maybe it's a bit something that you're not really used to, but that's a good thing, guys. You don't have to worry about that. So this is the text, and all you're gonna have to do is just read through it. That's it. Yeah, so I'll just skim to a section where I think it's gonna be challenging, and then you can basically have a go at trying to read. So for example, like if I was to read this, for instance, I would say like let's just see. For example, وفي سنة 302 تقدم المنصورية. Okay, let me just try to. تقدم المنصورية خزرون ابن سعيد ابن خزرون الزناتي. وكان سبب وصوله اختلاف أو سبب وصول اختلاف بينه وبين أخيه. Yeah, so that's basically, that's basically how you're going to be reading the text. So, okay, so Muhammad Aqil has come. So he's going to have a go at reading this. It's a bit of a tough text. Right, so inshallah he'll be. Alright, let's have a go. Okay, it's just disappeared. Alright, so I'll. Okay, I think it's come back now. Okay, assalamu alaikum, Muhammad Aqil.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
MashaAllah, ahlan wa sahlan. Okay, so you're going to have a go. I'm just going to put the timer on.
Okay.
And you've got, no answers on at the moment. There's a few people that are supposed to come. You've got about 10 minutes, right? So you can just start reading. And if you want to translate, are you going to translate it as well?
No, not this time.
Okay, so go for it, go on.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We'll start from the top. Al-Bayan al-Maghribu fi أخبار الأندلس والمغرب.
Al-Maghrib, so Al-Bayan Al-Maghrib. So
Maghrib.
that's the title of the book.
Maghrib. Ibn Azari al-Marakshi.
Good.
Ta Nahu. I'll have a go at this number.
Okay, so you can start from Wafi, where it says Wafi.
Wafi, okay.
So
وفي هذه السنة مات ورد بن سعيد في الشوال
Shawwal. So this would you pronounce it as Shawwal with a shadda.
شوال. Right, okay. شوال فاختلفت كلمة زناتين ومالت فرقة مع خليفة ابن ورو وفرقة مع خزرون ابن عماه
مع خزرون ابن عمه
ابن عمه
مم.
وارفع الله فيهم مشتات
Good.
ذكر وفقات نصير الدولة بديش بن منصور إنه
أنه
لما كان يوم
لما كان لما
لم
كان
لما كان يوم ثلاثاء لي
ثلاثاء.
ثلاثاء
مم.
ليلة ليلة
Yeah.
بقيت
لليلة لي. So that's حرف جر لليلة.
لليلة بقيت
بقيت
من ذي القعدة ذي القعدة
ذي القعدة.
ذي القعدة ذي القعدة أمر
أمر بالتمييز.
بالتمييز فبالزر فبالرز
برز يبرز.
فبرز كل قائد في أقصره
So كل قائد مضاف إليه.
كل قائد في أقصره
في عسكره.
أصقره
مم.
وجلس نسير الدولة في قبة
في القبة.
القبة وأمر أيوب بن
وأمر
يتوفى
أيوب. أمر يأمر.
أمر أيوب بن يتوفت بالطواف على العسكر
Good.
على العسكر وحسابه
مم.
وانتظره حتى فرغ من هابها وعادها
مم.
فجاءه فعرفه بما سراه وأبهجه وانصرفوا إلى قصره. Have I lost it? I think.
Yeah. ثم ركب.
I think I can see here فأعيا. Oh, right. My mistake here. Sorry. وانصرفوا إلى قصره ثم ركب عشية هذا اليوم. عشية هذا اليوم وهو قد تناهي إقبال واستوال حسنا وجمالا فلعبوا بين يديه فكل ما هز رمح كسره
هز رمحا. فكلما هز رمحا.
كسره وأخذ غيره.
وأخذ يأخذ. أخذ غيره.
ثم عاد إلى قصره أفصح ما كان أملا واشتد سرورا وجزلا فطعموا واشربوا مع خاصته وقرابته فعاينوا من طربه ما لم يعهده منه فلما مضى
نحو النصف مضاف إليه.
نحو النصف من ليلة الأربع انقضاء ذي القعدة.
ليلة الأربعاء.
أربعاء. انقضاء
انقضاء ذي القعدة.
قضى نحبه رحمه الله وبعث في الوقت إلى حبيب بن أبي سعيد وباديس بن حمامة وأيوب بن يطوفة يطوفة
Good.
فاعلموا بوفته
فأعلموا.
فأعلموا بوفته بوفته
بوفاته. وفاة. So با حرف جر.
بعرف.
بوفاته.
بوفاته خاصة من بين جميع صناهجة وغيرهم فانصرفوا على أن يكتموا أمره حتى يجتمعوا رأيهم فأصبح وجوه العساكر للإسلام على عاداتهم وليس عندهم خير وقد عزموا أن يعرفوا أنه أخذ دواء وتقدموا إلى سائر قبائل عساكر أن يحضروا بعدته
أن يحضروا
أن يحضروا بعادتهم بعدتهم فقد بلغهم أن حمادا يضرب في محلتي فما شعروا أن خرج الخبر من مدينة محمد أن خرج خبر من المدينة المحمدية بوفاة السلطان وأنهم
بوفاة السلطان
وأنهم أغلقوا بأبوابهم وصعدوا أغلقوا أبوابهم وصعدوا على أسوارهم وظهر ما لم يستطيعوا إخفاؤه
مفعول به
إخفاءه كأنما نودي في الناس بإشاعته فاضطربت العساكر وماج بعد هذه برأينا شاتي فاضطربت عساكر وما جاء بعد في بعد
وماج بعض ماج يموج ماج بعض في بعض
بعد في بعد وخشوا من اختلاف الكلمة فاجتمع رأيهم على تقديم كرامة فأخذ عليهم العهود وأمر بالكتب إلى بعض البلاد فلما رأى ذلك أبيد نصير الدولة فلما رأى ذلك أبيد نصير الدولة ومن أنضاف إليهم
Okay, the time is up. Jazakallah khair. MashaAllah. So, mashallah, this text isn't an easy text. It's actually from a history book about Spain. So you can see the names are not something that people are used to. Even I, for example, struggle on some of the pronunciation of some of the names. So this would be a very difficult book to read anyway. But the idea of these sessions is to try to, have goes at trying to read the text itself. Yeah. So, like I said, this is the below. This is the email. If anyone wants to participate, then you can participate in this, inshallah, and you can have a go at trying to, read yourselves. And obviously, there are going to be people who are going to be shy of reading, find it difficult. But you got to give it. Sometimes you got to give it a go. I'm not going to be doing this all the time, so these kind of sessions are not going to be. So it's not going to be a weekly thing. I just thought, this week I'll have a go at it, see how it goes, and then I don't know, maybe in the future, sometime if I get any free chance, I can possibly, have another go at it. So this is a book, okay, and there are other books out there as well. So, I mean, for example, like what other books are there out there? So for instance, like Arba'un al-Nawawi. Actually, let me try to get an easier text. Okay, so Al-Isaba fi Tamyiz al-Sahaba is a good book to try and read. This is basically a book regarding the Sahaba, different names of Sahaba and what they were kind of like famous for. So, for example, like this kind of text, right? This is a very good text to try and practice your reading, I would say, as well, because it's quite enjoyable as well. It's got some like stories in there. So, for instance, so what he does basically is he has the names of the particular Sahabi. So, for instance, like Shasir, he says, Akhiru Akhir minul jinn. Yeah, he was one of the last jinn of the Sahaba. وقع ذكره في خبر غريب. So وقع ذكره. So ذكره is the fa'il of وقع. So his mentioning occurred في خبر غريب, in a strange or weak narration. So غريب can mean strange or can mean weak as well. So in a strange or weak narration, لسعد بن عبادة. Yeah, so لسعد of Sa'ad bin Ubadah, famous Sahabi. So in a narration of Sa'ad ibn Ubadah, this jinn's name was mentioned, Shasir. أخرجه الزبير أخرجه الزبير. Yeah, so أخرجه الزبير. So Zubair, he is the fa'il. Ibn Bakkar, so Zubair ibn Bakkar, أخرجه, has recorded it, has mentioned it. Yes, أخرج means to actually bring out, literally. But in the science of hadith, it means to kind of record. Yeah. في الموفقيات. So he's mentioned in a book called the Muwafaqiyat. قال حدثنا الرياشي. So Riyashi حدثنا, told us. سمعت سليمان ibn عبد العزيز. So حدثنا is the fi'l and Riyashi is the fa'il. So that's Dhamma. And then سمعت سليمان ابن. So Sulaymana is a غير منصرف word, so you're going to give it single fatha. Ibn Abdul Aziz. So Sulayman ibn Abdul Aziz. Right, so Sulaymana ibn, that's the badal. Abdul Aziz mudaf ilayh. Ibn Abi Thabit. يحدث تحديث, which means to narrate. قال حدثني أبي, my father told me. عن عبد الحميد مضاف إليه, and عن حرف جر. ابن بهرام. عن شهر بن حوشب. So شهر بن حوشب. Now notice when I pronounce the first name before the ibn. Yeah, so for example, like if I highlight this, when I pronounce Shahri, I don't say Shahrin. Although if there was no ibn, you would pronounce it like that. You would say An Shahrin. But because there's the word ibn, you actually don't pronounce the double vowels here. You don't pronounce tanween there. Right? So you're going to say Shahribni Hawshabin. An ibn Abbasin. An. Yeah, so from harf jar, ibni Abbasin. An Sa'ad. An Sa'ad ibn Ubadah. So Sa'd ibn Ubadah. Sa'd ibn Ubadah. قال, he said, بعثني, بعث يبعث, to send. So sent me Rasulullah is the fa'il. So Rasulullah. Yeah, مضاف مضاف إليه. Yeah, so بعثني Rasulullah. So the Rasul is actually the mudaf, and the word Allah is the mudaf ilayhi, and that becomes the fa'il of ba'athani. Sent me Rasulullah ila Hadramawta. Yeah, so Hadramawta غير منصرف. Yeah, مركب إضافي. إلى Hadramawta في حاجة. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent me to Hadramaut, which is a location in Yemen. في حاجة, في حاجة, in a, or due to a need, له, for him. في حاجة, like an errand for him. وهو بمكة. So whilst, this wow we translate as whilst. Okay, this is what we call wow haliyah. Now, does anyone know why it's why I pronounced it as بمكة? And I didn't say, although ba is harf jar, right? And Makkah, why I didn't say بمكة? Yeah, so lahu wa huwa bi Makkata, and it's not bi Makkatin. Does anyone know why it's actually pronounced with bi Makkata and not bi Makkatin? Well, the answer is that Makkah is غير منصرف. Okay, so it's غير منصرف. Excellent, very good. So it's غير منصرف, so you pronounce it with a single fatha. فلما كنت ببعض الطريق. فلما كنت ببعض الطريق. Yeah, so لما, when كنت, I was, ببعض الطريق, in some of the tariq. Yeah, so in some of the path, roads. It's mu'annath and alam. Very good, excellent. So it's mu'annath and it's the name as well. Yeah, so غير منصرف due to two causes, two sababs من الأسباب. One is that it's a name, yeah, alam, it's the name of a place, Makkah. And number two, it's feminine. Yeah, so if a word is a name and it's feminine, it's غير منصرف. Yeah, in most cases. There's a few exceptions. عرست في الليل. عرس يعرس تعريس. عرس يعرس تعريس. Does anyone know what that means? عرس يعرس تعريس. Yeah, so he says, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sent me to Hadramaut, to Yemen, for some sort of a need of his. وهو بمكة, whilst he sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in Mecca. فلما كنت ببعض الطريق, and on my way there, so when I was in some of the roads, so like when we say when I was on the journey, the Arabs say when I was in some of the roads. When I was on the journey, عرست في الليل. عرس يعرس. No one got it? عرس basically means to spend the night in a place. Yeah, the same word is used for a bride and groom as well. The arus. Yeah, arais, aris, arus. It's like the bride and groom. So arrasa yu'arrisu is to spend the night. So I basically, like I parked up on the side and I spent fil layl, at night, there, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. فسمعت هاتفا يقول. سمعت is فعل and هاتفا مفعول به, right? سمعت هاتف. هاتف means a sound that you hear like coming from nowhere. So when you hear a sound in thin air, the Arabs say hatif. That's why the modern day telephone is actually called a hatif, because it's like a sound coming from like nowhere. يقول أبا عمرو تؤوبني السهود وراح النوم وامتنع الهجود. This is a poem now, right? So usually students find, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys find translating poems difficult? I mean, I used to find it very difficult when I was learning, in the early stages of learning Arabic. I used to find poems were probably the toughest for me, and I would generally not understand most of it. Yeah, except for a few words maybe, but I would find maybe even like reciting them correctly with the correct vowels. I would struggle on that a lot. Yeah, and nowadays there are some poets whose poetry I do still struggle on. But I mean, now, alhamdulillah, it's become much easier for me. And I would struggle on trying to sequence the entire meaning of what is he trying to say in the whole poem. So here, Aba Amrin. Aba Amrin. Yeah, you find that difficult as well, yeah? Muzaffar? Yeah, and Sumaya. Yeah, it's difficult. So that's basically your next goal should be to try and master poetry. Yeah, you should try and focus on trying to get to that level where you can read any Arabic poem, right? And you can, even though you don't know the whole context behind it, you can translate it and you know what it's saying. He says, Aba Amrin, تؤوبني السهود وراح النوم وامتنأ الهجود. So أوب يؤوب, تأويب. It means like to put someone into like difficulty. So أوب. Now let me show you guys how to actually like search for words now. So this is, I actually show you guys how I like search for words. So for example, like what I will do. Okay, let me just try to. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, so this is a website that I generally use for this. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Right. So this is a good website that I use, right? So if you go into this section, Mu'jam, and you type in the word. So for example, like let's say you're looking for the word ta'awwibuni. So you're going to look for Hamza wa ba. Right? So you got over here, you got different like dictionaries. I usually use Lisan al-Arab or maybe, Qamus al-Muhit or Sihah, something like that. So awb, ruju, awwaba yu'awwibu, ta'weeb. Yeah, so awwaba, aba ya'ubu, it means to return. Wa ayyaba wa awwaba, raja'a wa aba, raja'a yuqalu liyahnika. So you go through the list and whichever word, whichever sort of like context you're trying to look for, you take that. Yeah. So awwaba yu'awwibu, to awwibuni. So where we want to look for awwaba yu'awwibu. So okay, so this is at the top. Awwaba wa ta'awwaba wa ayyaba kulluhu raja'a wa aba wal ghaib. Something that returns back to you time and time again. So this is one of the words that we want to look for. And another word that we want to look for is suhud. Okay, so just type in sin hadal. Yeah, go to Lisan Arab. And then sahada, al-laythu, as-suhud, suhad, naqid, al-ruqad. Yeah, it's like kind of insomnia to keep someone up. Ariqtu wa mahada suhadul mu'arriqu. Yeah, suhad al-araq. Araq means insomnia, to stay up at night and like lose sleep. Right, so okay, we've got another word there. So let's go back to this then. So now we've understood, okay, tu'awwibuni as-suhud. So like it means the meaning like returning back to me. So it means put me through difficulty. Raha, okay, we want to look for raha. So we go back to our dictionary. And let's see if we can find. All right, so raha, we're going to look for rawaha. Rawaha. And rawaha. So rawaha, okay, from rih, nasim, raha, yaruhu, tanzil, مثل ريح, arwah, okay, maruh, mirwaha, yeah, because التي يتروح بها, person use it to. So ترويح من الحر بالمروحة, روح المروح, yeah, it means that some kind of air, cool breeze. And روح also means the evening as well. So I don't want to go through all of this, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of how to use this dictionary. So you can imagine reading all of this now. Once you've read all of this, it's like loads, and this in the real book, this would be probably pages. You're looking at easily, up to 5 to 10 pages that's been written on this. So روح وراح, راح النوم, راح means to go away, ذهب. النوم, sleep. امتنع, hujud. So okay, we look for hujud, hajada, right? So you go to hajada, and I think students should get used to using technology. I know people say, oh, you should read the real book, but the thing is, it saves you so much time. Why do you want to spend so much time in looking for a word when you can just quickly, locate the word and get on with so hajada yahjudu, yeah, nasara yansuru, hujudan ahjada, nam. Ahjada means to go to sleep. Hajada al-qawm hujudan, namu, yeah, to go to sleep. And naim, so okay, we get the idea that it means some sort of a sleep. Wal hajid wal hajud al musalli bil, someone who prays at night time is called a hajid. And the word tahajjud also comes from this as well. Yeah, al mutahajjid yakun musalliyan, someone in at the night time, sleeping time, yeah, who sort of like, prays. Yeah, al hajud, night time. So it's something to do with night time basically. So you get the idea of this, yeah, as you go through. So Aba Amrin, so he says, oh Abu Amr. So Aba Amr is like, Ya Aba Amr. The jinn is saying this, or this, the sound that he's hearing. To awwibuni suhudu, sleep like is like insomnia is tiring me. It's coming back to me time and time again and exhausting me. Waraha nomu, and sleep has gone from me. Wamtana al hujudu, and hujud has gone. Hujud meaning that, this sort of like enjoying the night time and relaxing. So this is what he heard basically. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Poems are so difficult. How is it possible to learn so much words? You just gotta slowly over time. Yeah, slowly over time, you learn, inshallah. Ibn Khalid Salam, Shaykh, wa alaikum salam, provide a link to the website. Yeah, so it's simply called, just type in furqan.co. Yeah, Furqan. So the one of them that I use is called Turath. I'll just put that in there. It's easier. Turath. And the other one is just called Furqan.co, and it's got some other names as well. These are Arabic to dictionaries. Any suggestions for Arabic to English dictionaries? Yes, you can use Ijtal. Right, so there's actually an easy one to use. If you actually go to, let me see. There's actually one that I generally use. Okay, so Al-Ma'ani website. So you can either go to, I'll show you Ijtal. I've shown this on my Sarf videos, and I actually got a video of tutorial on this. So this is Ijtal. This is Ijtal. Yeah, I'll just put it in this box here as well. Yeah, Ijtal. So this is basically all you have to do here is you just click, and then you type in whichever word you're looking for. So let's say you're looking for the word sahud, yeah, or suhad. You say sahada, and then okay, and then in all the dictionaries that it has, it tells you that word. So for example, this is handswear. Sahida, yashadu, yeah, sleeplessness, find no sleep. In the second pattern, into different patterns it shows you. Yeah, and then if you go down, this one is Lane's lexicon, tells you in there as well. Yeah, suhdun, sahida, and all of that. Yeah, it shows you this meaning over here. And then if you go down, it shows you other, and this is like Urdu dictionaries. So for those who want Urdu, French dictionaries in here as well, and so on. You can find lots of sort of like dictionaries that suit you. You can read it there as well, inshallah. Yeah, but the main idea is when you're reading, it's not a very straightforward, easy thing. It's gonna take time. It's something that you are gonna struggle with, and don't think to yourself that I'm gonna understand it straight away. No, it's not a straight away understanding thing. It's actually something which is gonna take time. Yeah, so some people think that, look, I want to understand it as quick as possible. I want to be able to get through it, and I want to be able to read like everyone else. Everyone else started off somewhere. When I started studying, for me it was, difficult. There was no internet in them days, so everything had to be done through just like, really going through the books, trying to figure it out for myself, asking other people. So that's how you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to read a lot. If you're not reading a lot, then don't expect to try and understand it quickly. Yeah, you're not going to understand it quickly. Anyway, then he says, فذكر. So al-wafir simply means he mentioned this is the meter, the poem meter that follows the particular pattern. فذكر أبياتا, and then he said ذكر, he mentioned, meaning the jinns mentioned أبياتا, couplets, poetry couplets, أبياتا. فناداه هاتف آخر. Yeah, so نادى ينادي. هاتف is موصوف and آخر is غير منصرف. Anyone know why it's غير منصرف? هاتف is the موصوف and آخر is صفة, so that's going to become the فاعل of نادى. Yeah, so ناداه هاتف آخر. Another like invisible caller, yeah, called him. Yeah, another invisible hatif. Hatif means like caller, called him. فقال يا زلعب. So now زلعب, I don't know what زلعب means, right? So that would be like a strange word for me. So I would have to look this kind of word up. So you know, maybe I'll look in here. Maybe I'll say, okay, let's look for what زلعب means. I honestly don't know what زلعب is. Might be like one of those strange words. زلعب. Yeah, so okay, so it's got some مقاييس اللغة. زلعب, okay, لسان Arab's got زلعب. So زلعب أزلعباب السيل. Yeah, السيل. أزلعباب السيل كثرته. It means like excessive flooding, excessive water gushing. كثرته وتدافؤه. Yeah, كثرته وتدافؤه. سيل مزلعب. Yeah, سيل مزلعب. كثير قمش. Yeah, here's some nice words being used over here. And by looking in Arabic dictionary, you begin to appreciate, yeah, the Arabic language, yeah, because you're kind of forced into understanding it as well. And I did mention there's another dictionary that sometimes I use. It's called Al-Ma'ani. Okay, it's called Al-Ma'ani. So Al-Ma'ani is basically, let me just show you guys. Al-Ma'ani. This is like one that I sometimes use when I'm trying to figure out like maybe like new words or something. Yeah, in English. So okay, so here it is. So you see, this is a good sort of like dictionary. I think it's okay. Actually, it's in different languages. See all the top there. You got like Russian, Urdu. Yeah, it's very, very. So you just put a word in there. So let's say, for example, you want to look for a word, like the word that we just found, zal'ab, right? So you want to put zal'ab in there. Zal'ab. Put zal'ab. Let's see what it comes out with. Zala'a. And then zali'a. Zala'. Right? Now, this is all the Arabic ones. So the good dictionaries in here, right? You can find them over here. And so if you go to the English section, go to English, you'll actually find the translation. So like, let's say you want to put in a word. Let's put suhad in there. Suhad. Yeah. Okay, suhad, it tells you here. Ah, look at this. Insomnia. Suhad. Sleeplessness. Yeah. Sahida. Sahada. To make original context. Gentle. Sahadi. Yeah. Mu'arraq. Yeah. Insomniac. So it gives you these different terminology that you can use. And this is another good dictionary. If you want to kind of like use that one, that's fine as well. So he says, يا زلعب ذهب بك العجب إن أعجب العجب بين مكة ويثرب. Yeah. So يا زلعب, oh زلعب, ذهب بك العجب. Ajab, amazement has taken you. إن أعجب العجب, the strangest of strange things is between Mecca and Yathrib. Yeah, and then he goes on. قال وماذا يا شاسر. So it's like a little whole story that takes place. So I like reading these kind of books. Like I said, I mean, the story goes on, actually. Yeah, we can actually read. So he said, وَمَاذَا يَا شَاسِرْ. Okay, let's see if there's anyone else that's come on. Okay, so like I said, there is the link below for those of you guys who want to have a practice go at reading. And the thing is, look, you're only going to improve if you throw yourself in the deep end. Honestly, you're only going to improve if you throw yourself in the deep end. If you feel shy and say, you know what, it's okay, I don't want to read, or I don't want to, you know what's going to happen? You are not going to develop yourself. You're not going to learn the fast way. You're going to learn a very slow way. You're going to carry on learning Arabic, but it might take you triple, 5 times longer, 10 times longer than what you could have learned, what your pace could have been if you were reading at a faster pace. If you were kind of like throwing yourself in the deep end and attempting like recitation, and that's the thing. I mean, you don't have to show your face. You don't even have to show your name even. Yeah, you just have to send an email. No one know who you are, and you just have to give it a go. But you only get 10 minutes per week. I mean, per lesson. I'm not going to do this every week, but you'll only get like 10 minutes or so to read, because I think everyone has the opportunity. There should be fairness there as well. So that's why. بأي شعر نبدأ. Start off with something like Imam Shafi'i's shi'r, Ali radiallahu anhu's shi'r. Yeah, Imam Shafi'i's Ali radiallahu anhu, very easy to follow. How can we improve reading Arabic without aid of harakat? So you need to keep on reading to people. So you need to get hold of someone, even if you pay them. Try to read to them. Yeah, try to read as much as you can. Read and read and read non-stop, and help them, because a lot of the thing people think grammar. The more grammar you know, the easier you can read it. That's not true. A lot of times people know a lot of grammar. They know more than what they need to know, but they still can't read properly and they still can't write Arabic properly. Because reading and writing requires another skill, which is, reading to someone and getting your mistakes out. Just like kids do in school. Ahmed, salam alaikum, just found your channel. As I was planning to do a Jurumiyya, and inshallah I'll be going through your channel. However, I mentioned you didn't surf. How can I sign up for that? So surf are free of charge. So if you go into my channel, check in the playlist, you'll find Understanding Sarf. So if you Google Understanding Sarf, Liaquat Zaman, you'll find it there. How can we understand the word without harakah? So like I said, you'll have to read to someone. Yeah, the meaning, you'll have to find the meaning, you'll have to read to someone. That's the honest, quickest way that you are going to learn how to read these texts. Okay, so then he says, وَمَاذَا يَا شَاسِرْ. So Sa'ad ibn Ubadah says, ماذا يا شاسر? Oh Shasir, what is it? What's that strange thing? قال نبي أرسل بخير الكلام. نبي, a prophet, نبي. Yeah, so this is like the khabar. Ursila is majhul. Now, how would you know this is Ursila? Like if you saw this, you probably think to yourself, is that Arsala? Is that Ar-Rusulun? How is this? So this is something I just know. Like when I see this word, straight away my mind picks up Ursila. It makes sense. But for a beginner, it might take a bit of time to try to figure that out. Yeah, this might take a bit of time to figure it out, and so you get a bit you get a bit lost in the translation in the beginning. But later on, once you master that, then it's going to be simple and easy. بخير الكلام. خير بخير خير الكلام. Yeah, خير الكلام. So mudaf ilayh. So a prophet who was sent with the best of speech. إلى جميع الأنام. إلى, to جميع الأنام. Yeah, to جميع الأنام. To all of the. Yeah, جميع, all of the. So this is, whenever you get jami', remember this. Jami' is either going to come on its own or as a mudaf. If it comes on its own, it's always jami'an. You always see an alif after it. Jami'an. So this is another thing when you're learning how to read text. You need to use tips. Yeah, there needs to be these kind of like tips. Yeah, so these are like tips that you should learn as well. So like for example, if you ever see the word jami' with the alif at the end, it's jami'an. If you don't, then it's mudaf. In this case, it's mudaf because of ilah. It's jami'i. Jami'il anami. Yeah, so all of the anam creation. يخرج خرج يخرج من بين البلد الحرام. So from بين mudaf. So whenever you get the word bain, it's always mudaf. Bain you're never going to get on its own. It's always going to be mudaf. So make a note of that as well. So من بين البلد الحرام. البلد الحرامي موصوف صفة. Yeah, from between the sacred city or land. إلى نخيل وآطام. إلى نخيل وآطام. Yeah, so إلى نخيل وآطام. So نخيل is majrur, and آطام is majroor as well. Yeah, so إلى نخيل وآطام. So he's going to travel, he's going to leave from the sacred lands to a land to date palms and small forts. Atam is like a little fort, which is basically describing Medina. Medina was known as the city of the date palms and the atams. إلى نخيل وآطام فقال آخر. Right, so did anyone figure out why آخر is غير منصرف? Yeah, why it's غير منصرف? Can you suggest a Quranic word book in English? Yeah, so if you go on this website like I showed you over here, yeah, this is called Ejtal. In there you'll find a few. Ejtal.net. Yeah, you'll find one over there. Okay, is anyone else having problems seeing the screen? I mean, to me it's very clear. I'm not sure. Is anyone else seeing? Okay, يخرج, why not majhul? يخرج. Yeah, you can have يخرج as well. You can have يخرج, then the translation would be he was expelled, and it can be يخرج, that he will leave. Yeah, so both are fine. Yeah, he sent an email. We're going to finish now. Unfortunately, time's up now. So, for those who are wanting to participate now. So, the time started 9:15. So, inshallah, if I do another one next time. So, next week, there isn't going to be one of these lessons. But it's just, I just thought I'd attempt it. And I thought there's going to be more people attending. But unfortunately, there's not that many people. So, I don't think I'm going to be doing many of these. Because the only reason I did this was a lot of people do say to me they want to improve their Arabic. But the thing is, to improve your Arabic, it's not just about watching someone. It's actually, you have to participate as well. That's the main thing. So this is why, if there is enough interest in there, like if there's a good number of people who are interested, then I might continue it. But I don't think at the moment I'll be continuing them. Next week, inshallah, I'll be going back to the normal routine of doing tafsir. But like I said, this is how you're going to have to go through the text. Just try to go through it as best as possible. Okay, so let me just finish this off then. So he said, فَقَالَ آخَرُ is غير منصرف because it's on the wazn fi'l. Yeah, it's wasf and it's on the wazn fi'l. آخر, like أكبر. ما هذا النبي. So ما هذا النبي المرسل والكتاب المنزل. So ما هذا, what is, this is ma is istif. Now this ma can be nafi. Yeah, so it can be nafi. It can be istifham. It can be zaida. It can be mawsul. So how do you know which one is which? It's context. You just have to keep reading, and then you'll pick up. You'll pick up as you go through. So ما هذا النبي المرسل. So what is this sent messenger? So هذا is ishara, and al-mursalu is the sifa of nabiyyu. النبي المرسل. What is this sent prophet? والكتاب المنزل. Now, how do you know it's not mursilu? Well, mursilu means the one who sends. That doesn't make sense. What is this sending messenger? No, it doesn't make sense. So mursalu makes sense. And kitab munazzil, why is it not munazzil or munzil or munzal? So it can be al-kitab al-munzal, but kitabs, they don't send down. Yeah, they don't send down. So al-kitab al-munzal. Yeah, al-kitab al-munzal. So, or munazzal. So you got the two options. Book that's been sent down. Qala rajulun. Qala, he said. Rajulun. So this is the maqula, what we call maqula. Rajulun min Lu'ay ibn Ghalib. Rajulun, a man. Yeah, rajulun, a man from min Lu'ay ibn Ghalib. So this is on its own. You'd imagine there to be like a mubtada hidden. هذا رجل من لؤي ibn Ghalib. So remember I said to you, if you have the word ibn, the word before it, you drop off one of the vowels. So you don't make it tanween, you just give it a single vowel. So in this case, لؤي, single kasra. لؤي بن غالب. فذكر القصة. ذكر القصة. Now, how do you know it's القصة? It's because when you read this, it's like ذكر means he mentioned. القصة is story, so therefore it makes sense. قصة is going to be the مفعول به. So ذكر القصة, he mentioned the story. It can also be ذكر ذكر, and in that case you're going to say قصة. ذكر القصة. Then the story was mentioned. But the first one seems more makes more sense. ذكر إلى أن قال until he said سمع. Now see this is where students usually get stuck. Is this فسمع? What is that? So we say, okay, this fa can't be part of the word because that just seems normally at the beginning of words. So fa is not part of the word. Okay. So سمع. So سمع يسمع, and so this is سمع, and then the ta, this could be سمعت, it could be سمعت, it could be سمعت, سمعتي, yeah. But because you got the word صيحة here, صيحة means a scream. So then we understand this has to be like the مفعول به, right? So قال, he said سمعت makes more sense. I heard. Yeah, I heard صيحة, a scream. And it can be also سمعت صيحة, a scream was heard. That can also be possible as well. But the first one, it kind of flows, it's more succinct, it flows better. كأنها صيحة حبلى. صيحة كأنها. So notice, كأن is what kind of huruf does كأن fall under? Anyone know? كأن. And what does it do? Because if you know that, that's where you need to know grammar. Like this is where grammar is needed. So you don't need grammar for a lot of these words over here. But here's where grammar is needed. So كأن, yeah. So إن أن كأن, right? لكن ليت لعل. So these are those kind of particles or huruf which give nasab. Yeah, huruf nasab. Very good. So yeah, الفاعل ضمير مستتر تقدير هو. Yeah, very good. Yeah, أنا. So سمعت. The fa'il is أنا. So not هو. It's سمعت أنا. كأنها. So ha is the ism of كأن. As though it, the صيحة, was صيحة حبلى. So حبلى is a word which is, has an alif maqsoor at the end. So you don't see the vowel at the end. You're just going to pronounce it as حبلى. So صيحة مضاف, حبلى مضاف إليه. كأنها, as though it is صيحة حبلى, the scream of a حبلى, scream of a pregnant woman. حبلى means a pregnant woman. So it's saying, I heard a scream and it sounded like a pregnant woman who's giving birth. فطلع الفجر. fa is عطف. طلع الفجر. So طلع يطلع فعل, الفجر is the fa'il. fa again. رأيت again. So because the flow is an I, it makes sense for us to say رأيت here instead of رأيتي. Yeah, because like the whole sort of like sentence context is talking about I. It's talking from a first person perspective. رأيت عضاية وثعبانا. Okay, so let's say for example, like you wanna look for these types of words. Yeah, again, all you'd have to do is go and do a search in here. So for example, like let's say you want to look for the word thu'ban. Yeah, so you just put in, because it's like, is it 4 letters? So how would you do this? So what I would do, for example, like I'll put in tha'aba. Okay, these are 3 letters. Let's put tha'aba in there. Does anything come up tha'aba? Okay, tha'aba means to pour, drain. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. Siphon, right? No. Long snouted eel. Okay. That seems to be what we're trying to. Snake, mackerel, isqamarriyu tha'ban. Right, so okay, so you got like, so as you can see, once you go down the list, you'll find words that you're looking for. Yeah, so thu'ban, And adaya, what is adaya? So ain, dha, ya. Okay, what is adaya? Or okay, so there doesn't seem to be anything for adaya. So we look for adu. Okay, or maybe adiyatin. Okay, is there anything adiyatin, adiya, adaya, wa'iduna? Okay, maw'idha. Okay, so it doesn't seem to have. So this would be in a situation where you'd be you'd have to sort of like maybe look in a more advanced dictionary, yeah, to try and find these kind of words. So ra'aytu adaya wa thu'ban mayyitain. Yeah, so adaya, thu'ban, meaning like snakes and other harmful creatures. فقدمت قدم يقدم قدمت, I approached, I arrived. فإذا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قد هاجر إلى المدينة. So I arrived. فإذا is فجائية. All of a sudden, I heard that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم has migrated to Medina. Yeah. And that's it basically. So that's how you would read, and that's how I would read. Like, I don't know the meaning of all the words. I have to look for words myself as well when I'm trying to read a text. But by looking at words again and again and again, I kind of like get the hang of it, and it just becomes very easy for me after a while. Yeah. So it's basically something which is you get the hang of after a while. Okay, so we're gonna finish there, inshallah. So like I said, this is something which I'm not going to be doing on a weekly basis, yeah, unless there is like an overwhelming number of people who contact me and say that they want. Then I'll probably say. But I did put it up in the early part of the week on my YouTube, and also today, I think it was yesterday or today, I also put it up on my social media as well. So it was there. So I do apologize if you guys didn't see it. So yeah. So main thing is, look, if you guys want to improve your text, try to find someone who you can read to. Just watching someone reading, you're not going to learn that much. I mean, you are going to benefit, definitely, but you're not going to improve your own skills. Okay, let's see. How to improve knowing what is better to use majhul versus ma'ruf. That comes with like understanding the sort of like style of language. Yeah, so sometimes the style of language is going to be that majhul makes more sense here. You'll pick that up depending on the context. حرف النصب إن وأخواتها. No difference between majhul and ma'ruf in being better. Majhul means passive. Yeah, it would make a difference. Yeah, it would make a difference in. I mean, I disagree with you on what you're saying, because it does make a difference in the type of sentence, the meaning, the overall sort of like meaning that it gives. Which website are you using? So the websites, I'll just post them in the comments below. Okay, so this is one. This is another one. And this is another one. And this is another one. Okay, so these are okay. Okay, so sayhatan is maf'ul bihi. Kana gives nasab, excellent. No difference between majhul. Okay, even that one. Kana already has a zamir muttasil after it, right? Yeah. Can't see the screen properly. You might have to get, I don't know, maybe a bigger device. Maybe you might have to use a laptop or something. Ma'ruf means active voice. Sayhat and khabar. Adat. Oh, adat is a lizard hole. A lizard. So you're saying mayyatain. So it must be a lizard then. Must be the type of lizard. Amazing. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. إن أخوات تنسب الأول ويسمى اسمها ترفع الخبر. Alhamdulillah. In description, this will disappear when you upload this online. Okay, inshallah, I'll put them in the description, inshallah. All right, guys. So take care, inshallah. And I was going to say I'll see you next time, but I will see you when I see you, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ya Allah.